The HVAC IAQ Building Committee meeting for April 25th. Stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag. United States. Okay.
Under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all.
Jeff, can't see you if you have your camera on. Just, I don't know if you care.
Really?
Yeah, you're a black hole right now.
He didn't do his hair this
There
morning.
you go. All right. Good.
WebEx connection difference. All right. Approval of minutes. I get a motion to approve the April 11th minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for April 11th. Sorry, Rodney, it's been a while.
No, that's fine.
Anxious.
Who needs his name in the minutes? All right. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Not for me.
No.
All right. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Moving on. All right. Project updates. Mark or Tim, want to give us an update on?
You want to
Phase
go
one?
first, Tim?
Sorry, Mark, what? Want me to go first?
You want to go first? Yeah.
Sure. So we'll start North Stratfield, continuing with finishing up duct work. We're going to be starting ceiling grid over there probably in the next week or so in areas that we can get in. Over at Fairfield Woods, we're working a lot more now on the roof, getting duct stands in, getting any kind of other VRF curb that we have to do that we did not finish over April break. We're also going to be starting electrical conduit on the roof as well. Now that we have some of the units set from April break's work, we can start getting piping and all that routed on the roofs. Osborne, we are wrapping up ceiling grid, and we are pretty much wrapped up with duct installation. So those crews are going to be shifting North Stratfield, as I just said. And we're currently out in the front finishing up the secondary utilities that we had previously excavated over the past week and a half. So right now we're about 60%, 75% backfilled on the work that we did. We're finishing near the electrical room where we had to actually punch through the conduits into the new room. We did have UI come out to inspect our transformer pad and grounding loops. Those were all passed. And now we're actually in the process of installing the bollards around the transformer pad. So we're moving along. We did just get our hardware submittal back that we had touched on last week for the ArmorTech system. That is gone back to Cherry Hill as of yesterday evening. So we should hopefully get an updated lead time with Cherry Hill once they have that in hand. They have been working on fabrication drawings, which is part of their 12-week lead time. So that's been working in the background while we've been ironing out the last few details of the hardware packet or the hardware submittal. Other than that, we are moving along. Switchgear is actually, so switchgear at North Stratfield and Osborne is going to be delivered and set tomorrow in the electrical rooms. Woods will be forthcoming after that, but we are going to get those things set, and then we'll start working on getting everything plumbed and piped in the coming couple weeks.
Everything's on track time-wise?
Yes. As of right now,
Close.
again, the only wild card I see at the moment is the ArmorTech's vestibule system, just because, like I said, it's a 10 to 12 week item. They have been working on the fabrication drawings while we have been finalizing this hardware submittal, but they were very adamant that the hardware submittal was also needed to release the frames and everything into production. So right now, based on our schedule, we're close. We're going to be very close with how much time we'd like to have. But we should still be tracking to be okay at this moment. Obviously, I'll give you guys a heads up if anything starts to slip from there. The FCO system is the exterior storefront system. That has already been delivered to Cherry Hills Yard, so we have that in hand. So that's what actually keeps the building obviously secure and weather tight. So we have that system. ArmorTech is all interior based. So Obviously, we have a little more flexibility there with timing and weather. But again, we're pushing, and I'll keep you guys up to date on the Armor Tech stuff.
The Armor
All
Tech
right.
includes, Tim, the sort of the badge scanners and all of that hardware as well. Is that part of that? All the controls?
The vestibule as a whole has all of that as a part of it. But the Armor Techs is like the second line of defense once you get in the building. So it's the interior storefront system with the ballistic glazing. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, this meeting's being recorded, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I see the red dot.
Should we be discussing all that detail with the security?
Jason, the drawings are public information, so I don't think we're going into that level of security in terms of what it's supposed to and not supposed to protect. It's a protective barrier, but there's no indications of the level, so I think we're okay, my opinion.
Well, there's no other conversation that you had on it, but yes, I agree with you, Amar.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. All right,
Thank
any
you.
other updates from Tim?
No, that's all. We're on track. We're moving forward.
Mark, anything you want to add?
I've got a couple items. We have really one ATP. We have two others that are finals that are we're in the packet for information only with zero cost savings. So that is so there's only really one ATP to really review.
Do you have any project updates though? Anything more generic?
Yep, I'm getting it.
Okay.
We have I'm meeting the movers out there on Tuesday to take them through the schools to figure out what we need to move for the start of the summer, and at the end of the summer to move it back in. We are going to get a proposal from them for the book room and then the three main offices, moving them out of Gilbane's Way so they can do the flooring and the vestibule work that's or the work in the main office that is tied to the vestibule work. Then the only other item I have on phase one is we have the tester and balancer proposal in for review. I'd like to get approval on that so we can get the tester and balancer on the contract for the summer.
Okay. Anything else, Mark?
On phase one, no. I can jump into
Questions from Rodney or Joe?
Not at this
No.
time.
Okay. Thank you all. Project updates on anything on Tomlinson?
Yep.
Materials testing.
We are on schedule as far as the bid to get the day or two, get the bids out on the street next Tuesday. We'll have the pre-bid walk next Friday. And then bids are due at the end of May 29th. Our schedule to be due. That way we can hit our date of getting it in front of the Board of Selectmen at the end of June to get the GMP blessed and Gilbane off to the races.
Okay, so those dates make sense to everybody still?
Jeff, I'll talk to Mark a little bit about this. We just got the drawings today, the final drawings. I just need a couple more days or so to go through the drawings and pick up any finalized with the touches. So we're going to go out to bid sometime next week, possibly the Tuesday after, maybe a week off. But I don't think it's going to impact because I believe, Mark, you had an alternate path or alternate schedule as well there in the event we
have an alternate.
Yeah, so
Yep.
We're generally at the timeline that Mark described is attainable. We might be off by a few days here and there, but we'll firm that up next week, early next week. It should not impact any construction start and none of that stuff, really. We'll make sure that information is communicated to everybody.
Okay. I'm just scanning this schedule real quick. All right. Questions on schedule, Rodney or Joe?
No.
No.
All right. Anything else, Mark, on Tomlinson?
Did we touch on the hazmat? That
I was going to ask
Woodward
that.
and Kern
but
was
go
up.
ahead.
What's this?
No, I was going to ask about the hazmat. I haven't had the opportunity to review the drawings that BL uploaded this morning, so I don't know if that includes in there or not. I don't know.
Well, they were out there over spring break, and they found nothing that would be needed for abatement that they tested. So that is the good news there.
Good.
Okay. That's the summary or conclusion of the documentation that was uploaded today.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. All right. So is there anything else on the hazmat side? Or is that issue's closed unless we find something unexpectedly then, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Almost unforeseen, yeah. But they got in and did their testing.
Okay. Okay. Rodney, Joe, any last comments or questions on Tomlinson?
No, I'm good.
No. The walkthrough is 8 a.m. Friday.
That's to be determined.
Okay.
Thinking of attending, Joe?
If I can, I'd love to, but I haven't checked my calendar yet.
That's contingent on purchasing as well, because purchasing attends.
Gotcha.
Wow, Friday's in May already. Okay. All right. Moving on to ATPs.
Next Friday is my birthday. Actually.
Well, my son's too.
9. Yeah.
Wow.
Mine was yesterday and you missed it.
Oh no.
Oh, we didn't get the invite.
Yeah, you got to say it, Sal.
Yeah, you're supposed to know, man. You're supposed to like have it all set up.
We look.
Next year I'll
Hats
have
and
it.
the streamers. Hell, my wife even remembered this year.
That stuff. I thought he was the social committee chair.
Your wife is just checking off another year.
Well, you have a daughter, so at least you get one happy birthday wish, right?
Yeah. No, the kids are good about that. No, my wife's all about birthdays. So I'm like,
Just, Jeff, a quick question. If it's okay with the building committee, is it all right to have we typically have the walkthroughs in the afternoon for the pre-bids, and we typically set it a week after we advertise. So probably likely be like a Tuesday afternoon or so. Is that okay with the building committee, or is there a preference to you guys, or just
Wednesday would be
FYI?
better for me.
In the afternoon?
No choice or no preference.
Thank you.
Either.
Thank you.
So Tuesday it is.
Yeah.
Why not? Okay. So, did you want us to sing happy birthday, or are you okay if we move on?
Hey, whatever floats your boat, Jeff.
I'll put a candle on one of the donuts here.
Is that a better deal?
Oh yeah, Sal, if you want to stop by Woods, you get a free birthday donut.
Oh, wow. Was
like
it
a special.
in this month?
You got the one with the sprinkles on
I can't wait to read these minutes.
Are those the April donuts?
All
Are
right.
we still working on March donuts?
Yeah, wait till next Friday. Do the May donuts. All right. the refresher, right? ATP number 042.
042.
I'll make a motion. Let's start with the motion and then we'll go into the discussion on it. So I'll make a motion to approve. You took the sheet away. Do I have it up as well? Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve ATP 042, RFI 092, Area B, first floor classrooms at Fairfield Woods. This is a contingency ATP in the amount of $4,867. Can I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
All right, Mark, can you explain this ATP, please?
Yep. There are fan coil units in the 3 classrooms in Area B, as shown on the plans that we put in the ATP. There's also supplemental information. They are all going on the sidewall, similar to this existing unit here. The plan is to put the control wiring and the condensate in basically large wire mold, similar to this existing split unit that was there. Run it in the 4.5 inch wire mold up and out of the building. And there's 3 of them, which accounts for the linear footage in each of the 3 classrooms. And we did.
Yeah, I think this picture has a little bit of that covering in the upper, the right-hand side, but I think there's another picture that actually shows it a little bit better as well. Anybody cares to see? This one. This is the next one. There you go.
But this is an existing unit.
Just as an example of the casing, I was just
As an example, yeah.
the cover, whatever.
Yeah, the wire mold contains it all and conceals it.
Okay. Any questions or discussion, Rodney, Joe?
No.
No.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you. Motion passes. Okay.
And then the next 2 for North Stratfield, ATP 29 and 30. These are finals. They were previously approved. 29 was approved on March 14th, and 30 was approved on April 11th. These are as estimates, and these are finals now. So these are FYIs.
It came into the penny?
Is that the final value to the
That's the
exact
final
dollar?
mark? So they came into the penny from estimate to actual?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had most of the backup for those when we presented them, Jeff. We just wanted
So
to
they were
double
tight.
check our
Okay.
numbers, but yeah, they were tight.
Very good. Rodney, Joe, any questions on those?
No.
No.
All right. Very good. That's it for ATPs, I believe. So on to
Yep.
invoices.
And then we do have the tab proposal from Van Zelm to provide testing and balancing services for the 3 schools.
How does this match up with what we have in the estimate?
We will be pulling from contingency to cover it. This brings the commissioning over on the budget line item.
How much?
I don't have it up, but it's been encumbered on the FSR. So let me. For Osborne, we're bringing in, we've got planned but not contracted of 15,000.
Just give me a total.
Um, $70, $75. Did I do? No, 85.
8,500.
The whole thing. 1,000. It's
We're
the whole
taking
thing.
out a contingency 85,000.
Yeah.
To cover
For
this.
the tester and balancer. Yes.
So there was no budget for.
There was no budget for it.
That's the number you're showing us.
Correct. We did not have. We underestimated the commissioning line item
By 100%.
for the tester and balancer. Yes.
Jesus Christ.
So again, there was no money allocated in the original budget for commission?
For the tester, no. The tester and the building commissioning I had was in there was our typical. I did not account for the testing and balancing on a commissioning line item.
So, can we get competitive bids from other balancing companies?
That was just going to be my next question. Why don't we see these?
Well, they are in there. Sorry, let me share again.
Okay, so wings, testing and balancing.
Yeah. There are 3 of them. The wings, CFM, and environmental testing and balancing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So which one did we choose? Did they choose on here?
Wings.
Wings. Now, how'd it go from 63 to 85?
With Van Zelm's markup and project management.
Wow. And commissioning was actually, I just opened up Woods, the budget for Woods. We were already over budget on commissioning, right? I didn't open the others. So. Okay. The budget for Tomlinson has adequate tab on the commissioning line?
Yes. Yes. Not making the same as this place.
It's not very funny. It's an $85,000 mistake.
85. Okay.
So far, too many mistakes in this project. Jesus.
All right. So do either of you like to make a motion to approve it, or do we have it in the? We don't have it in the. Is it in the ATP packet, Mark?
No,
It's
it's
not
not in the ATP
copies.
packet. It was in this. It was a separate file in the folder.
So this is not even on the
Summary sheet.
agenda. I guess we'd have to approve it under new business.
Well, no, it's under proposals. ATP
Oh,
proposals.
and proposals.
You added a word. Okay. Go to the cover sheet for it, please. Scroll up for the vendor name and whatnot. Is it right there?
And is this a not to exceed cost?
Yes.
Mhm.
There is, if we can get them this in its second shift, which is the worst case, if we can get them in earlier during day shift, they're willing to work with us.
Or put this in the context of it could come in cheap, less than the 85,000.
Correct.
It's not the way this reads. This reads lump sum grand total. Does not say not to exceed total.
Well, we can.
You sign this
we'll make it
contract.
not to.
You sign this contract, we're liable for the full $85,000.
We can make the motion as not to exceed.
Well, but they have to have a contract modification to the invoice or the fee schedule, whatever this document's called, right?
Well, it can go
So,
on the PO that is issued. That it's not to exceed.
and I assume the timing is such that if we don't approve this today without modifications to this document, that'll put us behind on commission.
Two weeks is not going to. If we approve it in 2 weeks, we need the tester and balancer on board during the summertime. But I'd like to lock them up as far as get Fairfield on the schedule. And Van Zelm is a vendor that has been working with the town, so I am certain they will go not to exceed.
Okay. So making a motion to approve the proposal for Van Zelm number 2023152.01 in the amount of $84,879.75 for testing and balancing of the 3 schools, with the additional notation that the purchase order we modified to reflect the not to exceed language towards the grand sum.
I'll second that motion.
Any further discussion?
Nope.
Okay. All in favor?
All right.
Right. Okay. That's it for proposals, Mark?
Yes.
All right. What do we have for invoices this morning?
We have one for Van Zelm. In the amount of $3,623.37.
No math today, Rodney.
I know. I feel neglected. I'll make a motion.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, finish. Let's do you.
I'll make a motion to accept Van Zelm's invoice 53348 dated 4/21/2005 for the amount of $3,623.37.
Second the motion. Any further discussion?
No.
Nope.
Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Okay. Old business. So I guess in old business, I had Mark. Any significant changes on our budget around the deficit? Any significant corrections, positive or negative? I guess I should ask.
No.
Or are we still sort of pretty close to where we were?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I sent the FSRs out 2 weeks ago. So probably around the next meeting, I'll send them out again.
Okay. Moving on to see what else we have. Rodney, I don't know if anything from a coordination perspective around Tomlinson roof, just to keep poking at that, or Sal. Hopefully that's all going fine and that building committee is aware of.
I think we're approving things on May 5th.
We have, just to give you an update on that, I was going to put out an email to the other building committee. Tomlinson, we just put out an addenda. We got to put another addenda out today. We will. We're still planning to get to the standing special projects building committee for May 5th and contract approvals by Board of Selectmen at their May 14th meeting. So there's still, we're still out on the road with Tomlinson. So that's right now due. Those bids are due in next Thursday. And we'll have those evaluated. We just got bids in for a different roof project at Stratfield yesterday. So we're working through all those, and Tomlinson's just coming up with with more addenda than the other roof projects that I did. But we have the coordinational things
very good
for this Tomlinson project, as I explained at the last meeting. So we'll have a number for you.
Okay. Yeah, I guess the other thing, just any significant date shifts we just need to be aware of, right? From a work schedule.
Yeah, no, we're still on track for the bidding and all that, the way we were. The big issue with all of that, and it worked out with the timing of your project, is that unfortunately the architect that was originally working on it passed away suddenly, and we had to deal with that issue and get a new person on board, familiarized with it, and it worked out with the timing of Jesse and his folks getting to construction drawings. So actually, the timing worked out favorably for getting this number for this committee.
Okay. And lastly, on old business I had is the ceiling tile discussion. We had the review session around the ceiling tiles as a special meeting. I'm not sure what our timing necessities to proceed on this. I sort of surmised from our conversations, it looks like there's sort of three ways forward on our sagging tiles. So taking the punch list out with the sagging tiles, we do need to do a validation at Osborne Hill that there's no sagging tiles. There was a question around that, but that was most of the sagging tiles were identified at Fairfield Woods, and I guess our choices, in short, are to replace all tiles of the original phase, to change them to the new standard. Option 2 would be to just replace those tiles that are sagging. I guess option 3 would be to replace all of the tiles in the affected areas, which were modified of all of them, which would be the that hallway in the first floor and the 2 classrooms in the first floor that made up the majority of, if not all of, the sagging tiles. I don't know if Rodney, you or Joe have any comments or thoughts on it.
Yeah, the cost of this is astronomical, and I don't. As a committee member, I'm not prepared to agree to a full replacement coming out of our contingency.
Yeah, I share your opinion. The total, that about 300,000 plus, is a very difficult number to absorb for sure. The sagging would be down to I don't know. There was about, I don't know what the square footage was. So we actually haven't had a detailed quote. I guess if that number. So I guess that would be something to look at, is how much would it cost to replace the sagging tiles? The 162.
Yeah, get a cost estimate for items 2 and 3.
How do we know this is going to fix the problem and we won't have more sagging tiles in 6 months after the summer?
Yeah, we don't, and we'll have to make an assessment, I guess, at that point and see how it goes, and if there's another, if there's additional sagging, or if it was part of the, and then adjust that when we get there.
Just from a timing standpoint, everybody. So basically, these tiles are about 2 weeks out lead time. So I would say, if we're going to do any type of replacement, we'd want to hit it right when school gets out. So mid-June. So we'd probably want to have everything, squared away and approved by whatever our last meeting would be in the end of May. And we could release, central June 1st to procure the tiles, and we get them here for about June, mid-June when school's out, and we can start unpadding and repadding. So just, I know everyone's still thinking on this and strategizing. So that's kind of our timeline. I think we have about another month to strategize and finalize something. And then we'd want to release central to procure, I'd say no later than June 1 to release
So
them
aren't there
on.
additional mechanical, isn't there's still additional mechanical work to be done in phase one, yeah? That they're going to be popping some ceiling tiles again?
When we do startup and testing, yes, probably around actually really around the end of June or right around 1st of July, we'll start getting into that because the units we've already set on April break, we're going to get those wired up first and we'll be able to start starting some of those up a little earlier. But yes, we will be.
So from a punch list replacement, I wouldn't think we're doing the replacement prior to that mechanical work, are we? Is that the intent to fix the phase one punch list items prior to the revisiting of the ceiling?
I mean, usually, yeah, you wouldn't want to do that until you're done to not have this issue keep reoccurring. So ultimately, we'd want to do as much like there's a lot of areas where we can do ceiling tile though that are not going to be popped out for anything around the VRF might have to have a panel shifted, but the whole room's not going to have to be, taken out. So we still want to obviously get a lot of that replaced. And if we did replace classrooms, Jeff, like starting in late June, I'd probably direct the team to do, 95% of it and leave a few tiles out around the VRF so that Ferguson can go in there and do their thing. And then we'll put those final tiles in. So I'm not going to hold off, all the work. But I agree with you. Your statement's correct. We wouldn't want to put in fresh tiles and have Ferguson repop them to do balancing and testing.
I think we're just confusing the subject with the punch list, Jeff. Don't worry about the punch list. You will the town have bought brand new tiles, and you will receive brand new tiles regardless whether it's Humigard or no, and you will not incur any cost. So that if the trades happen to damage more, they'll just have to pay for more again back charge for them. So I don't.
No, I understand that, Amar. I'm just questioning the timing statement. If the intent is to put all of these in the first week of June.
Right. We do want to obviously address the punch list this summer. It's our last phase, but also don't forget the commissioning agent and the balancer will be going up in the ceiling too. Just so you're aware, there also need to be popping some tiles and verifying and confirming certain things. So there might be, again, like I said, the damage to the tile, that's not an issue. You guys bought a brand new ceiling, you will get brand new ceiling. Okay? And at no cost because you paid for it once already.
Tim, the phase two ceiling then, the new tiles, the schedule has those going in June then? That's what you're saying?
No, we have those going in later. But if we're going to take on a full ceiling replacement of all three schools, we're going to obviously have to start that earlier than if we were just doing one phase. So that's why
fair enough. If we go
so that's why I'd want to hit phase one sooner. And then we would leave out some tiles, Jeff, around the units so we don't have to pop tiles per se.
Very good.
Have we heard from Armstrong? I don't know if BL was on the call. Have we heard back from Armstrong? I think that's an issue that's been out there for some time. I thought. Oh, there's Jesse's here. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Mark.
Hey.
Yeah, they're taking no responsibility for it.
They're taking. Say that again.
Armstrong is taking no responsibility for it.
Oh.
What was their reasoning?
The reasoning was they recommended it not be installed, and it was installed despite that recommendation.
Is that in right? I'm sorry, I shouldn't jump in. I was just going to say, is that in writing?
I believe so. I can go back and check my emails. I'm pretty sure that's what was stated in the emails.
Yeah.
But nothing on their letterhead.
No, it was all email correspondence.
But they did provide submittals, correct?
Yes. Granted, the submittals don't exactly tell exact conditions it has to be. So they're using the fact that the submittals are a little vague to their own advantage.
Right. And what was the condition that caused the sagging? Just the humidity?
It seems that way. It's very localized. Like there's some corridors that have a lot of sagging, and there's a lot of areas of the buildings that have very little. So that's our assumption, is that maybe in that corridor there was more humidity than the rest of the building.
And we would be replacing these with another product from Armstrong?
Yes.
Yeah, the intention, and we've approved ATPs on that, Joe, is to replace any sagging punch list items, and in the phase 2 tiles will all be using the upgraded ceiling tiles.
Mm-hmm.
I should say the ATPs we approved were for the next phase, but yeah, so but the punch list is understood to use the new standard. Okay. Any other discussion on ceiling tiles at this time?
Just one. Can I make a request to see that email that was sent by Armstrong to whoever? Recommend that we do not install these tiles.
Yeah, I'll find that and send it to. Should I send it to Jeff and he can distribute it, or just all of you? I'm assuming I have all your email from the invite, but I'm not positive.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter as long as we get it. Or
Okay.
send it to Mark. I don't care.
If it's not too much trouble, the approved submittal as well. I don't know if I'll have time to dig into it, but
That's a good point, Joe. Thanks. I agree.
Okay.
and is
Yeah.
there no competition from Armstrong? Do they not have a competitor that can provide ceiling tiles, or is it too late for that?
No, I mean, there's definitely competitors, but this is what I'm assuming this is what the subcontractors bid was based on. You know, they had the option of using different manufacturers.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, I think our leverage on that on Armstrong is probably more future work than current work.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else, Rodney or Joe, on old business?
No.
No.
All right. New business, I have none. Joe or Rodney, if either of you have any new business?
Not me.
Very good. Okay. Then I will make a motion to adjourn. I get a
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.